guys, how are you? This is your boy TJ Hines, better known as Mrflipperhouse, also known as the #1 wholesaler right here in Tampa Bay, Florida. I'm feeling great today, guys. Got up this morning, got my 3 miles in as far as running goes, and I'm energized and ready to get at it, ready to make this day the best day of my life. And hopefully you guys are thinking the same. What we're going to do today is a little something different. As you know, from time to time I answer questions on video that are actually sent to my email regarding wholesale real estate investing, and lately I've kind of been slacking off as far as getting these questions answered for you guys. Well, today I'm going to do a little something different. I'm going to answer numerous of questions in one take, one setting, one video. So please be patient if you sent the question in and I don't answer the question right away on this video. For sure I will answer it. So if you sent in an inquiry within the past week or so, I will answer your question today on video. Just please be patient until I get around to answering your question. But what you may find out is all of the other questions that have been sent in by potential prospects wanting to get in to wholesaling real estate, you may find a question in there that you may have some use of when I actually answer that question. So be sure to go ahead and get a pen, a piece of paper out so you can jot some notes down, and hopefully what we talk about today can help you moving forward within your business. Alright, so the first question that we are going to get into is from Jonathan Brainness, and it's a contract question. TJ, let me start by saying how much I enjoy watching your videos. You have a great mixture of positivity, relatability, and knowledge. I was wondering where we can print or get contracts to purchase the property from a seller, as well as when we sell to a buyer. Hey Jonathan, I appreciate your time and your trust and faith that you put in me, allowing me to assist you. Well, first, let me just tell you that, you know, this business is all about networking. What I highly suggest is that you go to your local RIA club, and your RIA is a Real Estate Investment Association. That's what RIA stands for. If you go to google.com and run just a simple search for local RIAs in your area, you're going to find a whole bunch of clubs that are going to pop up. And within these clubs, you're going to find realtors, closing attorneys, title companies, wholesalers, seasoned investors, novice investors. Once you get the networking with these guys and kind of give them an idea of what you're trying to accomplish, they'll be able to help you out by getting you the necessary documents that you need in order to go ahead and put a property under contract. If that doesn't work, then make sure you do that first. But if that doesn't work, go ahead and send me an email to my inbox at info@mrflipperhouse.com. Simply put contracts in the subject title line, and let's see if we can find a means of way to an end to go ahead and get you the necessary documents that you're going to need in order for you to be successful in your market. So go ahead, run a search on Google, find your local RIA clubs, hit those clubs, and network with those individuals who are in the same industry which you plan on being in or already are in, and go ahead and get the necessary forms that you need to make yourself successful out here. Next question, let's move on to Jared Alford. Hey Gerald, I really appreciate your trust and faith that you put in me. Hello, and thanks for taking the time out to read my email. I have taken action and have gone out, and now I have 4 properties under contract. Unfortunately, they aren't moving as fast as I thought they would. They are in bad areas, but the prices are really low. I have advertised on Craigslist, and I have also sent out the list to the small number of cash buyers that I have, and even put out bandit signs. Still a slow process. The bad news is my contract is up June 20th, 2014. Not sure what takes place at this point. Also, he has another question. The mailing campaign. How long should I continue to mail to the same people? And third and last but not least is he sending me just a little thank you note here, pretty much saying thank you You inspire me. I have no quit in my bloodstream. This is all or nothing for me. Well, I just want to say thanks for the note that you dropped me. I'm very, very ecstatic that I've been able to be some sort of an inspiration to you moving forward in your business. Let me go ahead and answer your first question and just go ahead and acknowledge that you've done a great job if you're just now starting by getting 4 properties under contract, but now our work is just starting to begin. We got to find a way to market these properties where we can potentially find end buyers for them. Now, I've been in this business for a while, and I've been in the same sort of situation that you were in when I first started out in this business. As far as putting properties under contract that are in bad areas, dilapidated areas where investors are intrigued by the price, but once they find out where the property is located, simply turns them off. Well, I just want to let you know that there is a buyer for everything. You just got to find a means, a way to get in contact with that buyer. I think in this position right here, you have to search for Section 8 landlord cash buyers. And these are buyers who don't necessarily care about where properties are located. They're just into the investment for a very quick return. These properties that are cheap in bad areas, you can get very, very high cap rates, which is going to allow the investor to get in and out of the investment quickly. And this is the ultimate goal for any investor looking to hold on to cash flow rentals. So what you can do is, how you get yourself in contact with these guys is, go ahead and go to google.com and search for your local housing authority in your area. And within your local housing authority, they're going to possess a list of Section 8 rental pool properties. And within that list, you're going to have all these landlords that own these properties. And what are landlords, guys? Landlords are people who have cash to buy properties, and it's very, very accessible, usually $50,000 and under. So if your price point meets that $50,000 and under, you definitely want to go down to your local housing authority and retrieve that list. Now, once you retrieve that list, it's going to have all of the contact information on that list as far as the landlord cash buyers go. You want to cold call each one of them and ask them, are they interested in purchasing any more investment properties at this time? And if they are, good. Go ahead and kind of give them the details of the deals that you have going on. If they don't, then what you can simply do is reverse that and ask, are they interested in liquidating any of their inventory at this particular time? So it can work well in both ways for you. And how you want to present yourself when you go down to the local housing authority is, you want to tell them that you are an investor that just moved to the area and you're interested in possibly putting some of your properties in the Section 8 rental pool. You would love to retrieve the list so you can have an idea where these properties are located, so you can go around these particular areas and neighborhoods and see what types of properties lie in these neighborhoods and what these neighborhoods actually look like, so you can get a better feel for it. So that's a great way to get yourself in front of cash buyers who may be interested in buying in dilapidated, poor areas. The mailing campaign. How long should I continue to mail to the same people? I mail to the same list 2 to 3 times every quarter. Okay? Alright? And usually when I send out my mailings, I do a yellow letter and a postcard. So the first time I mail to that particular list will be a yellow letter. The second time I mail to that particular list will be a postcard. If you do a postcard the first time, then make sure you do a yellow letter the second time. If you want to push the mailing, push the list for a third mailing in that particular quarter, if you did a postcard the first time and a yellow letter the second time, go ahead and do a postcard again. Or if you did a yellow letter the first time and did a postcard the second time, go ahead and do the yellow letter for the third mailing. So go ahead and use that information, and hopefully that will help you out in your process of moving forward with wholesaling real estate. On to the next question, and this is from Donna Perry. This is regarding lists. Hi TJ, what list are you buying? Is it out-of-state owners, probate? Where do you buy your list? Well, Donna, I buy pretty much every list that is out there. The list that I direct mail to are evictions, estate sales, absentee owners, inheritance, vacant, free and clear properties with high equity, probates, code violations. I know that there's probably like 2 more other lists out there. I just can't think of it right now at the tip of my tongue. But these are some of the lists that I do frequent mailings to all throughout the year. And every quarter I will either update that list by purchasing a new list or get that list refreshed just in case some new leads have been added to that list. Where do I buy my list is another question that you asked me. I have a whole bunch of sources that I get my list from. It's not something that I care to put out there to everyone, but if you're interested in possibly exploring the options of how to get your hands on these lists, go ahead and send me a quick email to info@Mrflipperhouse.com. And in the subject line, go ahead and put interested in purchasing list, and I'll hook up with you and we'll kind of go over some things to see what list may fit what you're trying to actually accomplish. So go ahead and send that email over as soon as you get a chance, Donna. I appreciate your trust and faith that you put in me. Moving on to the next question. This is from Carlos Barrera. And this has something to do with the mailing campaign. It seems like everybody's interested to see how I'm mailing out all these letters and marketing messages that I have going on. Good afternoon. I just finished watching your video on how to set your mailing list up, and it's a great video, by the way. A few questions I have. How do you get 3,000 mailers? Well, I got 3,000 mailers, and this is just kind of reiterating the answer to this last question that I just went over. I get these mailers from different lists that I compose from different sources. So that's how I'm able to get, 3,000 mailers going out at one time. I just can't use an inherited list that is going to produce 3,000 leads. I can't just use an estate sales list that is going to produce me 3,000 leads. I have to combine all these lists together to get more and more leads. And at the time you seen the video, that was just 3,000 going out. I actually got another 4,000 to 5,000 that's going out by the end of this month from all of those lists that I have compiled. Did you pay for them, or how do you do it? Well, absolutely I pay for them. Nothing in this life is free. You can't go to anyone and ask them, hey, can you give me 1,000 leads for free, where you can potentially get out there and make thousands and thousands of dollars? The world just doesn't work that way. Yes, I do pay for everything that I attain. I pay for all of my lists. That's a part of my marketing budget. And how I've been able to purchase so many lists and do so many mailings is I've stayed very, very consistent. And the profits that I get from my deals, I put back into my business. I don't run out to Vegas. I don't run out to California. I don't run out to some exotic country with the money or the profits that I made off of these deals and spend that money right away. I actually put that money back into my business to keep on scaling up so I can do more and more deals every month. And that's what it's about, guys. So yes, I do pay for these lists. What does your first say? I'm not really sure what that question means, but I'm just going to assume it means you want to have an idea with what my yellow letter says. I have a yellow letter right here, very sexy yellow letter on white stationery paper. Doesn't really matter if it's on yellow or white, guys, as long as you have a clear-cut message or what you're trying to get across. But I'll go ahead and read it out to you very quickly. Dear Author Raynor. Okay, so you just want to have dear in the homeowner's name. My name is TJ Hines, and I'm interested in buying your property located at XYZ address, located in the city, state, and zip code. I buy houses in any condition. I am able to close quickly, usually within 4 weeks or less. Please call me at my number. So guys, it's just something that's very simple, direct, it's very effective. You don't want to write 2 pages giving them your whole business model and how you go about purchasing properties. You just want to spark an interest to see if they're interested in selling their property. Okay, so moving right along, I appreciate you, Carlos, for putting your trust and faith in me. Moving on to the next question. This question is from Nelson Roberson. Hello TJ, I hope that this email finds you doing well. I liked your recent video on YouTube. I noticed that the letters the young man was folding was on white stationery paper. Getting a lot of responses about this mailing. And that's what I'm thinking, not what he's saying. I was wondering, what kind of wording do you use for buyers and sellers? Would you please share with me? I am still a newbie and working on marketing and branding. I need to set up and get out my marketing campaigns. Well, you're definitely thinking and headed in the right direction. You're absolutely right. This business is all marketing, and without getting your marketing messages out there, you don't stand a chance for your phone to ring. Alright, so if your phone's not ringing, you're not talking to sellers every day, you're probably not doing everything you could possibly be doing marketing wise, and it can be because of a few things. Maybe it's your marketing budget and you don't have the capital, but you just got to keep pushing and pushing until you can start getting them deals under contract, and the first deal that you get, take some of those profits and put it back into your business for marketing, so that way you can have consistent deals coming in every month. It's on white stationery paper. It doesn't matter if it's on yellow legal pad paper. There's a lot of gurus or people out there that teach you have to use legal pad paper. I get great results just by using white stationery copy paper, putting red lettering on it. Let me see here. It actually, this is what my labels, these are what my labels looks like. I have a return address label here with no name, just a return address, as well as the homeowner address where we're mailing them to, and these are labels that are printed out in red. As you can see, not really sure if you can zoom in too much, but I formulated to where it looks like personal handwriting. Okay, so that is exactly what you want to do to go ahead and get your yellow letter campaign going out. Now, I use that particularly for sellers. You want to know what wording I use for buyers. I do not do any direct mailing to buyers, okay? I have other sources or other ways that I'm able to incorporate these buyers into my database, and it's just simply by me getting out there networking. But there are people, and I do work with people closely, that do direct mail to cash buyers that are looking to possibly purchase properties in the same area where they may have a property under contract. So yes, you can direct mail to buyers, but I'm not going to specifically tell you what to put in your wording, simply because it's something that I don't do. Okay, but you can do it, and I do hear that it is somewhat effective, but you got to have a marketing budget for that as well. If you want to go ahead and send those marketing messages to cash buyers, use postcards, because it's very cheap to do it that way. Alright, so moving right along, I appreciate you, Nelson, for putting your trust and faith in me as well. We have another question here on contracts. We're getting down near to the end, guys. Alright, afternoon from Central Louisiana. My wife and I were told by a lawyer title company that we need to do an option to purchase with seller. Okay? He was the only one who understood what we were doing. Now, if we get her to sign this, do we still have to get her to sign the purchase and sale contract? Can the option go to closing? Also, end buyer, what exactly do we sign with them in this situation? Assignment or just P&S, which means purchase and sales contract? You can do an option to purchase contract with the seller, but what you do when you do that is you still give the seller all means and rights to market that property on their end while you're out marketing the property on your end, and it can cause a little conflict of interest. For instance, you go out, buy bandit signs, You spend some money on marketing to get the word out that you have this deal available, and next thing you know, you're getting a call from the seller saying, hey, look, I got a certified buyer. He just put $2,000 down in escrow to buy this property. I'm going to go ahead and go with this deal. Now, all of your hard efforts, time, and money that you spent into marketing this property, okay, has gone down the drain simply because it's just an option to purchase. It's not a purchase and sales contract. So I physically never use those in my business. And your lawyer is right, you can, but what he's trying to do is protect the seller at the same time, because he doesn't want the seller to get tied up into a contract and knowing that you guys aren't going to actually close on it yourselves. You're actually fishing for an end buyer. So he's trying to do what's right by the seller too. But I don't use those kinds of contracts because like I said, the seller still has the right to go ahead and market the property. What I do is use a simple 2-page standard as is purchase and sales contract, and what that's going to do is going to give me full rights to market that property, and the seller has to relinquish all marketing interest in the property, meaning they can't go and market that property. So anybody that wants to buy that property, once I put it under contract, has to come through me. I don't have an option with the seller to purchase. Okay, I am purchasing that that property. All right. So what you want to do is you want to have a clause in your contract that to make that contract assignable. Okay. And once you find your end buyer, depending on if your profits are over $5,000 or under $5,000, you want to either assign it or double close on it. I would say if your profits are under $5,000, go ahead and assign the property where you don't have to pay any closing fees. And if your profits are over $5,000, then go ahead and double close on it. That way you can protect your profits, because the last thing you want to do is have the deal blow up a day before closing, or even at the closing table once the buyer receives your HUD-1 settlement statement, see how much you're making off of the deal. Some buyers don't want you to feel like they're getting rich, or you're getting rich off of them by marketing the property up or whatever. So go ahead and protect your profits if you feel uncomfortable by assigning the deal over $5,000. I appreciate your time, your trust and faith in me, Robert Newman. I wish you and your wife the best. Hopefully you guys can use this information that I told you to get out there and start closing multiple deals. Moving on to the next question, guys. And looks like we have about 2 more here. It's not a name on this one. This one is from ABI888. And let's get into it. Thank you for the YouTube video on rental properties. I am trying to get into real estate, but I have $30K in cash to invest only. Me living in LA, that doesn't do me any good in this market. My goal is to create cash flow. I am thinking of possibly investing in places like Arizona, Texas as an alternative, but people are suggesting that I only invest in the place I live. Me being my case, do you have any suggestions of how I can start? I am open to suggestions and not particular with one form or another. I just need to create income with the $30K and believe real estate is the best way. Only how to do it with me living in LA is the question. Please advise. Well, I do say that there is tons of competition out on the West Coast. You have guys like Sean Terry, Armando Montalago, who else is out there? Cody Sperber does a lot of marketing out in Arizona and California, and these guys send out big direct mail marketing campaigns of 20,000 letters or more every month. And the prices, or the home prices, are quite different on the West Coast than they are, say, down south where I'm located. Home prices up there, a $30,000 house down here in Florida could easily be $150,000 to $180,000, maybe even $200,000 in California or out in LA. So what you got to do with your $30,000 is don't get caught up into what everybody is saying, because your $30,000 won't carry you a long way in that market. If you're interested in exploring some more ideas I have some great ideas on what you can do with that 30K to start getting a really good return on it right away. If you're interested in seeing what ideas I have and what I can propose to you, feel free to go ahead and reach out to me at info@Mrflipperhouse.com. That's info@Mrflipperhouse.com, and simply in the subject line put 30K to invest, and I will reach back out to you and kind of give you some ideas on what you could do with that 30K to start getting a heck of a return on your money right now. But I appreciate you putting your trust and faith in me. Moving right along. And it looks like we're down to the last question here, guys. And this question comes from Anthony. And it's a short question. I live in a very small town, and what you are doing in Florida just seems impossible in Iowa. Any advice? Well, have you ever heard of this, Anthony? That sometimes we can be our own worst enemies. Who told you that it was impossible, that you couldn't do this in Iowa? Did you tell yourself this, or did you hear this from someone? If you told yourself this, then 9 times out of 10 it probably will be hard to do what I'm doing in Iowa. Okay, but if you tell yourself and be very optimistic that this can get done in Iowa or somewhere nearby where you're actually located in a different area, it doesn't necessarily have to be in Iowa, but it can be somewhere nearby where you're located, that this wholesale strategy possibly can be done. But don't sit there and put your own self down saying that this can't be possible in Iowa. How do you know? Have you ever tried it? If you tried it and you've done it wholehearted, consistently for a while, and it didn't work out for you, then it just may mean you need to go to a different area. But if you haven't tried it, don't speak on things and throw yourself down in the mud before you even try things, because sometimes we can be our own worst enemies. And in this business as an entrepreneur, you got to have a mindset that is genuinely positive every day when you wake up, and you have to look at things very optimistically. And optimistically means looking at things better than they are in the particular situation that you're in right now. And usually if you look at things that way, then you'll start to get all the results that you want out of life. And it sounds crazy, but I've been practicing that theory for quite some while, and it's not even a theory anymore. It's a fact that if you do look at things optimistically and say that things are possible and that I can make this happen in Iowa, then you possibly can make it happen in Iowa. If you've already done it, like I said, and you've hit the road and you've hit the streets and scavenged for vacant properties, and you've mailed out letters and you've talked to sellers and you figured out that this just can't work, then you may just be right. But if you haven't tried it, please don't throw yourself in the mud, because you're going to be working against yourself on something that is totally achievable. So Anthony, if you have any questions regarding where you can possibly start doing in your own market of Iowa, go ahead and email me at info@Mrflipperhouse.com. Guys, that brings this session to a conclusion. I had a blast doing a little something different for you, answering all your questions in email, and I'm going to see how this goes according to the response I get. This actually works out better for me and great for everyone else, because I'm simply not just answering one question on video. I'm answering tons of questions on video. So the questions that you may not be asking, someone asked in your favor, maybe those answers to those questions can help you out as well too. This is your boy, Mr. Flipperhouse. I'm a real guy out here. Within 3 years, I went out here and built a very prominent 6-figure-a-year real estate wholesale business in 2 different markets. Everything is in black and white, very justifiable. I could prove everything that I'm doing. So I'm not just out here talking the talk. I'm out here walking the walk too, guys, and that's definitely what you want to align yourself with. People who are actually doing what they're out here preaching. Okay, because we know that, or at least I know that what I'm preaching works in today's market. If you have any more questions regarding wholesaling real estate, please do not be afraid to go ahead and send them over to info@mrflipperhouse.com. Please be sure to stop by my blog, which is Mrflipperhouse.com. Download my ebook if you don't have it. Mr. Flipperhouse presents wholesaling as simple as your ABCs. I have tons of downloads on that. Also, do me and yourselves a favor. Please rate, comment, like the video. Make sure you do one other thing. Press the button above me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel because you don't want to miss out on certain things that I'm covering on wholesale real estate. I'm always talking about different strategies, different techniques that you can use in your business that will allow you to be successful. This is your boy, Mr. Flipperhouse. I had a ball kicking it with you guys today. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm out of here. Do yourselves and me a favor. Get off your butts. Get out there and flip some houses and let's make some money. Peace!